Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the basement of Asplenia Fun. This is kind of more for the newbies that are starting off, entry level. They're not sure really what to do when it comes to tools. Now you can spend a lot of money on hobby tools, or you can kind of go budget minded like I have. In fact, I really haven't spent a lot of money on any of my tools. They've seemed to last a long time unless you're wrenching really super hard every weekend possibly. I'm not really sure. So I got my trusty toolbox here. So I thought what I'd do is actually go through and just get some entry level tools for you. So for anybody who just bought, say, a Traxxas ready to run, or maybe your Tamiya first kit, this might be something that you're kind of interested in. Each kit comes with a little bit of tools, just enough to get you by, and it does work, but there are some cheaper tools that you can get, which I'm going to show to you today. Anyway, so first off, I'm going to start with a couple of different things. I just forgot. Okay, we're back. I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So we're going to actually go the first drawer. There's really nothing in there that I can show you because as of right now for entry stuff. So what you're going to want is some screwdrivers. Depending on what the kit is, this is what you're going to want to get. So I have a star, a flathead, a smaller star, a bigger flathead. So these are all things that you can use. Now, a lot of kits don't come with flatheads. Anybody can correct me on what these really are. I'm just calling them as I see them. But this is great for prying, getting into little spots, stuff like that, especially the smaller one there. It's really good for that. This is, I think, a number 2 star, and this is the one you're going to be using for most of your stuff when it comes to a Tamiya kit or some of the older HPI stuff, which you might not be getting into at that time. And another thing I'm going to show you is Allen keys. Now, you can get Allen keys by themselves, or you can get them in a kit. So I have a new package here, but I also have them individual. So something like so. So you have your, let's see if I can read upside down, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 millimeters. Okay, so these, and I got these off of Amazon.ca for I think 15 bucks. And just to show, like I bought these just as a spare. These are the ones I'm using right now. Let's see if I can, ta-da, ta-da, wherever the camera is. Might focus, might not. Anyway, this is the ones I'm using now, and I've had these probably for about 4 years. The only reason why I'm actually bought a new set is because I end up finding a little bolt that was actually standard and not metric. So, boo. Honestly, don't know where the camera is on this, so I don't know where to stare. Oh, there you are. All right. So a couple of other things that you might need. So I like a nice little pick. This thing is going to get, even if you're doing anything, you want to punch a hole, this or that, this works really well. Most of these tools are from Canadian Tire, except for a couple of I got off Kijiji. This is nice. It's a 9/32, I guess. It's also the same as a 8 millimeter, I believe, for wheel hubs. For wheel nuts, I should say. This one's just like kind of a ratchety thing, and I threw that on there. Just for some of the bigger trucks that have longer wheels, or wider wheels. That hurt my elbow. Another thing you're going to want, it doesn't matter what you grab. You want yourself a good pair of scissors. The scissors are great for cutting out stickers, whatever you think scissors are for. I mean, that's what these things do there. Now I got some metal ones here, another set of metal ones here, and then I got some from Lee Valley. These are by far the sharpest, but you don't need that. You can go to the dollar store, get yourself a first start of, first set of scissors, and go from there. A couple other things that I would suggest as well. Your kit will most likely come with this. These little wheel wrenches. These things are really, really handy. I have probably about 30 of these things, but I mean, honestly, you can't have enough because there's one for each kit that I own. I also have a bigger crossbar here. Now, again, this is for, it's got a little bigger, what's this guy go up to? That's a 10 mil. So 10 mil all the way down to, I believe it is 7 mil, 5 mil. And this is also nice for those wheels and tires. Hold on. Those wheels and tires where you need that length to get in there to help remove that. For normal wheels, you really don't need it, but it's just kind of handy to have that. But then again, that's where this comes along. So this does everything for you, and I think this one actually has bits on the inside as well. So you can just do kind of a multi-combo, whichever you prefer. Again, I'm trying to show you just kind of tools that you just need to start with. If you want to go higher, you want to do better, that's awesome. But these are the tools that I use, and I think they work just fine. This is the back of my head, by the way. If you decide to get into painting your bodies, stuff like that, there's going to be a couple things you're going to need. Are those the same? There we go. So, a body reamer. So this is a Duratrax body reamer. This is nice for putting holes. You want a nice circular hole, whether it's in a body or plastic. This thing will pretty much do everything. You just stick it in there, start turning it, and it's a great hole maker. If you want to make the holes the same, you can measure it, but what I normally do is I just take a black marker, put it there, go down as deep as I want, and then keep doing that for all 4 holes or whatever you're doing, and then you'll find that they're roughly all even. Another thing that you're going to want is scissors. So these are actually body scissors. You'll have the straight kind, and you have the curved kind. The curved is what I use pretty much the most for them. Can you see the curve? There we go. These are great for going around different bodies, around the wheel wells, etc., stuff like that. Now, this, I think, kit was $20, and again, not very expensive. Some of these tools you might have laying around, but some of these you may not. So I do suggest that. And again, you don't have to get super quality stuff when you're first starting out. You may only have 1 or 2 cars, but you don't be surprised when you start having 4, 5, 6, and 7 if you really start enjoying the hobby. All right, another thing that you're going to want, it's a knife. You want a knife that's nice and sharp, that can cut through anything, and it's great for trimming plastic pieces off a tree. So do I have a tree here? I do. So here's a monster beetle tree. It's the driver himself. And if you want, you can actually use this to cut stuff. Cut it through. You know, I mean, it's a knife. You kind of know what to do with that. But if you want to make something, $7 Home Depot. All right. This is probably my favorite tool when it comes to doing bodies and everything else. This is a pair of really, really, really sharp needle nose pliers. The nice thing is it's actually really small. But the cool thing about that is where the knife will leave jagged edges on stuff, this will be a nice clean cut. So let's see if I can show you this. So, do I have a pair of real pliers? No. Okay. So if you have a set of normal side cutters, they're going to leave kind of like a, it's not going to be flat, and you want something that's going to cut it nice and flat. So when you do this, can you focus in on it? Perfect. And clip. And I kind of did that wrong because it's not supposed to be like that, but it's very, very, it's smooth. Ready? Look at that. There's no line. So if you're actually taking on a body, so say if we had a body like this, so and you want to take and get some of the little detail that they have on. So the flashing, whatever they have on here, you'll want to take care of that. These do a perfect job, and it gets it nice and flat, nice and smooth. You really don't even have to sand them. So let's see. That is probably my favorite tool. If you decided that you don't want to do a lot of wrenching, I like manual tools. They work really well. But say if you're doing something like this, a bead lock that has lots and lots of screws holding it together, you might want to do something like this. And this is my Ryobi. It's 4 volt, I believe it is. Apparently I'm using my face meet cam, so everything is backwards. But that does say Ryobi if you flip this over somehow. And this was something like 40 bucks, but the batteries last forever, forward, reverse, and with that I bought myself a little Ryobi toolkit, and yeah, it works perfect. So something to think about if you decide to, when you're putting a kit together, if you don't really want to manhandle everything, this is a great way to go about that as well. One last thing I will note, it's always nice to have a flashlight. When you're getting in, like I work in a basement here, so it's not that well lit. But what I like to do is, I bought one of these. I think this cost me $20 off Amazon. It comes with rechargeable batteries, a couple different settings, and it's perfect. So when you're looking at something in detail, you got it right there. I like to see. Who would have thought? Anyway, so that's kind of the tools that I use. And like I said, if you're a beginner and you're just kind of getting into this, don't be so overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, I got to get the like, you can spend a lot of money on these. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the more money you spend, probably the better they are. But this does everything that I need. I have something like 50 some odd RC cars, and I just use the cheap stuff, really. I'd rather take that extra money and put it into my kits, into the body, into another, an RC car kit itself, or whatever you want to do with it. So personally, I like the cheaper stuff. I always go kind of on the low side of price, because I'm not here to break my tool or break the bank on tools. I want to actually enjoy the RC cars that I do have and maintain them. Anyway, I hope this has helped a little bit. I know this has gone on a lot longer than I thought it would, but any questions, throw a comment down below. Don't forget the like button. Subscribe if you want to. A lot of my content's like this, so if you like it, cool. If you don't, sorry, man. Go to the next video. That being said, I will see you in the next video. And yeah, I think I'm looking at the camera right. Technology, I tell you. Getting too old for this. Anyway, go RC, have fun, and I will see you in the next video. Stop.